Do you know this feeling when you're talking to somebody and suddenly that person says something that just downright triggers you? Perhaps they said something that you completely disagree with, or they're just downright wrong on a certain topic, which you apparently know more about. So here you are in this state, simply wanting to correct the person, right? But the mistake that most of us do is we tend to react very emotionally. What this means is that as soon as we hear something that we disagree with, we just immediately say, no, because this, and that. And as you would probably expect, that person also responds in a very similar manner. Well, you just kind of entered his space, right? You've established yourself as the quote-unquote enemy, right? Because you're trying to imply this belief onto him that you are right and he is wrong. So here you have this person defending himself, right? Reasonable. That person is also going to respond in an emotional manner. But perhaps what's more likely is that he's going to respond with an even bigger no, right? Because, well, he's trying to defend himself. So here he is, no, actually, I'm right because of this, and that. And the whole argument starts to escalate even higher and higher, right? The analogy that I really like for this is it's kind of like playing a video game. You know that feeling when you would be playing like some CSGO or a fighting game and you would lose a round and suddenly you just feel this like slight bit of anger in the back of your mind, and from that point on, as you're trying to fight this anger, it's like every round you play after that is just getting worse and worse and worse, and here you are on the edge of literally breaking your keyboard, right? This is not how we're supposed to deal with situations like these. The way you truly make everyone stand on the opposite side of the team, right? The way you truly make everybody go against you. The way you become everyone's enemy is when you are incapable of expressing your ideas in a way that doesn't offend theirs. What this means is that, to keep it as simple as I can, you don't know how to disagree with people. The issue as to why most interactions, like I just explained, end in an argument is because you are using the wrong words and phrases to actually make your point. Let me explain. One of the easiest ways you can improve the way you talk, or rather convince your people towards your way of thinking, is by using the right words that don't trigger this negative reaction of, oh my god, he thinks he's right, but I am right, so I need to correct him, which only escalates it even further and further, right? One of the best changes you can do, and it's gonna sound so simple that you're gonna think I'm bullshitting here, but trust me, this stuff actually works, right? The most common words that trigger this mindset is no and but. It's like you could be speaking to somebody. I have a great example in mind, actually. You remember when you were like 6 years old and you wanted to get some toy from the toy store and you asked your mom, what would she respond with? No, with this like almost evil meaner to it, right? Of course that would make you feel perhaps not offended, but a little bit disappointed, right? It would make you react in a very emotional way, and because we were kids, right? Of course, some of us would just go, You want to avoid that, right? One of the best changes you can do is swap the word but entirely with the word and. It's gonna sound weird at first, right? You're probably a little bit confused, but this is a game changer. Because, as I said for the billionth time already, the word but has this energy to it, right? The words like these are called negators. Negators are words which imply this negative reaction to somebody as you use them. And when you're trying to convince people towards your way of thinking, you want to avoid these, right? If you don't do this, people are really gonna hate talking to you, right? Trust me, this is something that you really want to avoid. Because if you're gonna be leading a team, not even leading a team, if you're gonna be in any group scenario, and you're gonna make all the mistakes we just talked about, you're kind of cooked, bro. Not gonna lie, right? Perhaps not in your face, but people are gonna start talking behind your back, and this is not something that you want for your reputation, right? So instead of using the word but, use the word and. But you're wrong. Why don't you do this instead? But you could say something, and don't you think that this option is better? Compare the two. They have the exact same meaning, but a completely different energy to it. Let's use the word no, for example. Let's say somebody says something that you disagree with. No, because I think this, and that. Very similar thing can be used here. Swap that word no, reframe it, and use it as a question. Form your response in a question, because a question doesn't have this vibe to it, this negative energy. This negative energy is something that you really want to put off to the side when you're trying to speak to people. So let's form this differently. It's gonna sound very similar to what I already said, but let's say that somebody said something you disagree with. Compare the reaction of no, because I believe this, and that, to, for example, don't you think that this and that is better? Once again, same thing, different. I don't know why I wanted to use the word vibe, but it's a different feeling. And this feeling is what really matters, right? Because the way people feel around you during this interaction is significantly important, right? The issue that most people do is we tend to put debates over discussions. And discussions are much more pleasant to our egos than debates are. Because when we start to debate on who's better, who's more right, it's like you're only bringing the stakes up for no other reason, right? It's like you can't really win an argument. Because even if you do win an argument, even if you are right to begin with, you're gonna leave the other person unsatisfied. Damn, I'm stuttering. You're gonna leave the other side unpleasant, right? Because deep down they still believe in what they wanted to. Even if you grab them and started to beat them into believing in what you want them to believe in, you can't change what's going on up here. So deep down, they're still gonna hold on to that belief, right? Unless you persuade them. Persuasion is the only way you can change somebody's mind. You can't force it. No physical realm is gonna help you with what's going on in the mental realm. Trust me on that. Just avoid negative words altogether. Of course, you can criticize, right? Just make sure that you're not digging into somebody's ego as you're doing it, because as I said, this can totally lead to the opposite results that you wanted, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I really hope this video helped you out, and if you want more value like this, you should totally check out these videos as well. You should totally join the Discord server too. We have a very active community. We also get multiple opportunities to talk to me through voice calls and text messages, so stay tuned for that. Click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. So keep working, brother, and take care. Damn, my tripod.